So I'm going to do a video here on dehydrating food. Some of y'all have asked about how we preserve our food. We freeze, and we dehydrate mostly. This is my dehydrator. I have an Excalibur food dehydrator that my husband bought me. This is some of the foods we dehydrate. This here is kale. This is cilantro, this is kale, this is green onions, and this here is peppers. Not two. And this here's some cantaloupe. This here's some other foods I dehydrated. These here are tomatoes, yellow squash, eggplant, and okra. The Excalibur here that I have is 5 trays. Mom has a stainless steel. It's not an Excalibur. It's made by Lim, and it's a stainless steel one. They both do a great job, so I'm not recommending one above the other. But dehydrated food's great. We mostly use it for like soups and stews and fruits. These are cantaloupe here that Alan and Soren have to run them out of them, otherwise we wouldn't have any. I just slice the cantaloupe and peel it, slice it into little half-moon circles, and put it on the sheet and turn it on. I start all my dehydrated food at night right before I go to bed. I'll put on a batch, and then the next morning generally it's done when I get up, or just needs a little bit more time. This cilantro here, I like dehydrating the cilantro because cilantro seems like when your tomatoes and stuff come on where you're going to be canning salsas, the cilantro's gotten to where it goes to bolt. It's too hot for it. So I go ahead and dehydrate the cilantro. Plus, when you're making salsas, if you use the dehydrated peppers and the dehydrated cilantro and dehydrated onions, which I don't have white onions out here to show you, it makes the salsa a lot thicker. A lot of times when you're canning homemade salsa, you have a real time trying to get it thick enough to can. But if you're using the dehydrated peppers and onions and cilantro and stuff, it really helps to thicken it up. And so I like that. My husband is not a greens eater, so I don't just make him a pot of greens like me or Soren would eat with, you know, bacon drippings or whatever. But he will eat in soups and stews and things. He will eat kale and stuff, a little bit added in there, so I'll go ahead and dehydrate that up and kind of crumble it up in some pieces, and I can get a little kale in him that way. These are the green tops. Whenever we get rid of the CSA baskets ready, a lot of times we'll trim the tops a little bit on the green onions. I'll just wash those up and dehydrate those. So that's what those are. One of my favorite things to dehydrate is the tomatoes, of course. Here's a gallon jar of tomatoes. We use these in all kinds of soups, stews, chilies. I really like these in pasta salads. I'll put, you know, just go ahead and mix my vinegar and olive oil and herbs and stuff up. And one of the things you need with dehydrated food that I use a lot is a good pair of kitchen scissors, because I'll just snip the tomatoes up or snip whatever peppers, whatever I'm making, I'll just snip it up in whatever size pieces that I want. So you'll need a good pair of kitchen shears. Here's the okra. I use it for gumbo or just to put in like vegetable soup. Really thickens it up and saves room in my freezer. I don't like to put a whole lot of frozen fruits in my freezer because I save my freezer for mostly meats. Like I said, I generally put on my dehydrator at night right before I go to bed, let it go all night, and generally a lot of times a lot of stuff's ready when I get up in the morning, and then I'll go ahead and fill it back full, and that afternoon or that evening I'll check it again. Just depends on what I have in there to see if it's done. In the summertime, this thing goes like 24/7. When I take something out, I put something in. And this is something that I really didn't think I would use, but I guess my husband thought I would use it, so he got it for me for an anniversary present. And I hadn't even asked for one or anything, but And when it came, I thought, gee, I can and freeze. I'm not going to use this thing. But the next summer, I got it out, and I'm dehydrating. I really like it because, a lot of times when we're picking for the CSA baskets, we have a lot of stuff that just really doesn't go in there because it's spotted or something's wrong with it. But I'll just slice the bat off, and and if you don't have enough to do a cannon like of tomatoes, if you don't have at least 7 quarts, I'm not going to mess with it. But instead of that going out into the compost pile, I put my tomatoes in this dehydrator and dehydrate them, and tomatoes are perfectly fine, but they got a lot of spots on them or something. I cut it off, slice them up, and I'm ready to go. But that's generally it about the dehydrated food. Just wanted to show you all a little bit about it and how we do it. Bye.